at 2 o'clock. Good evening, everybody. From Wolfie's in West Lafayette, it is the Katie Gearlds Show. We'll be talking with the head coach about Boilermaker basketball up until the top of the hour. You can follow along tonight on our Facebook site on the Purdue Athletics page and send in your comments and questions for the coach there. We'll also be talking with Associate Coach Beth Kutcher a little bit later on in the show. But we'll have the head coach, Katie Gearlds, will be with us. The Katie Gearlds Show presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union, and this is Boilermaker basketball from Learfield.
Porter's previous stop in college coaching was Auburn. Georgia Tech also played Auburn this year, and it's Madison Layden.
Experience and learning how to play while tired, getting a feel for how to finish down low. Heck of a finish right there.
I was going to say, speaking of finishes, Brooke Moore. Terry around Stroutman up. Off to Waltman. That time, Ricky finishes.
Good pass.
It's a total of 2 made three-point field goals, one for either team so far. Ellis snipes in, off to Wolfie. And the ball is taken away by Terry.
There we go.
Hardin for 3. Got it. That's what Purdue was missing in the first half. Tie game. Line drive shot short. Here's Ellis. Pace for Purdue. Key word for Katie Gearlds. And Ellis gets the bucket. Continuation. And one. Loose ball. Terry picks it up after a botched exchange with Ellis. Then she threads a pass to Ellis, who drops it in inside. Now it's Madison Layden to trigger for Purdue. 3.9 seconds left, down 1. Terry for the win. Good! And Purdue wins at the horn.
Well, she made herself available. She knew it was a low clock. Really good job of recognizing, attacking. And look, anytime you can throw it up there and give yourself a chance off the glass, and Janae Terry celebrating with her Purdue teammates.
And the bank shot never goes out of style.
Sure doesn't.
Purdue finds a way to get it done. Back-to-back wins over ACC opponents. We thought this would be a defensive struggle.
Welcome back to the Katie Gearlds Show, presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union. We're live at Wolfie's Grill with the largest view of the game outside of Mackey Arena. The head coach has joined us, and Katie, a 1-1 week. Let's start with the good news, a win over Georgia Tech on Wednesday night. Those who were watching on Facebook saw the last-second shot by Janae Terry, which I'm sure you've watched about 600 times so far. And every time the ball goes in, that's a good thing.
That's a great thing.
Talk about that win and what it will mean going forward to the fact that you were in a close game that went back and forth in the fourth quarter and able to pull out a victory.
Yeah. Wow. Janae made a great play for us. As I watch it, end of story. She just made a great play. We ran something for Shea, tried to get the ball back to Madison, and those two things didn't happen. We just said, JT, go make a play, and she did. We battled. Oh my goodness, we battled. If you look at our roster compared to theirs and the size of there's some grown women on that team, and we battled, and we stuck to the game plan. Felt like we needed to score the ball more than 53 points, but we guarded and made enough plays down the stretch.
I noticed also Georgia Tech came back, and they beat Georgia over the weekend by 1 point. So, things kind of even out for them on the week.
And honestly, that helps us quite a bit because Georgia's a top 20 team, and they go on the road to Georgia and win that game. So in the scheme of things for us, come March, maybe that means something a little bit more.
You mentioned the fact that's a big basketball team, and Jane Schott and I were talking. They're not just big height-wise, but those were big, thick, really experienced kids that you were playing against, a lot of them with international experience, and your kids hung tough the entire game.
Yeah, I was so proud of their effort, so proud of their discipline following our game plan. You said it, their experience in the international game, they just look like European professional basketball players. Like, you go to Europe, and that's who you're playing against every day. We had WNBA scouts at the game watching some of their kids play, and, tight, we fought, we don't score it well. We hang in on a run. We go on a run. They go up by 6. Hung tight and found a way down the shot.
Went through the hoop, and the ball was going through the bottom of the hoop right as it hit 0. So instead of giving the basket good game over, they just gave the game over. I had no idea what was going on, but I was completely confused at that point.
I think I saw the same one. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And I was still, I pushed Beth, I pushed Pete, and that's why Beth is here today. I apologize to her 100 times how many times I pushed her, almost knocked her down after the game.
All right, we'll have more of the Katie Gearlds Show presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union after this. This is Boilermaker basketball from Lear Field.
We'll slow things down. Wide open, Abby Ellis, corner three. She knocks it down. Can't find the layup amidst the contact. Now Terry finds Layden in transition. She unloads from three, and Madison Layden ties it up at 6. Nearing the midway point in the second quarter, Terry crossing over. She'll find more. Book more. Floater driving in. Gets the bucket and the foul. Layden fires over to Smith. Right spot. Smith over to Kyle. Check back in. A nice up and under move from Rashay and Kyle.
To take away all the Boilermakers' confidence.
Layden, her own three. Hits the bottom of the net.
Mike Sell 3 for 5 tonight. 2 big threes here in this third quarter for the Buckeyes.
Left side now, Layden, her three on the way. She responds. Ellis, 5 seconds to go, going the right side, working against Miller. Ellis stopping, spinning, finding Kyle down low. Kyle gets it right at the buzzer. Ellis has it now. She's got 9 points on the day. Going baseline. A little stuck, turning around, and a nice job by Abby Ellis. They got Cassidy Hardin with the foul on last possession. Janae Terry, a tough take, going coast to coast. You usually don't see a number that low at all in men's or women's basketball.
Exactly, but shooting 3-4-3 is one thing that you want to look forward to, as that one goes 4-3.
Her first made basket. The Boilers, 14 points, and Jayla Smith, the steal on the other end. The Boilers, 14 points, and Jayla Smith, the steal on the other end. The scoop and the score. Right in front of Katie Gearlds. Janae Terry driving in. Right hand, yes! Boilers.
Boilermakers and the Maryland Terrapins on Wednesday night. We'll have that action starting at 6:45 before Purdue comes home to take on Denver. We've talked the fact that basketball coaches are always going to get ready for the next game regardless of when it is, but these games in December, when they play the Big Ten games, it's always odd to have these 2 conference games stuck right in the middle of your non-conference schedule. You have to do it that way if they're going to give people a Christmas break, but it just seems odd to be playing conference basketball games so early in December.
Yeah, and it's tough for us right now because everything we have to go through and get better, and we say we're not skipping steps. We're just not against Ohio State. I know you saw our press, but we don't practice it much, or we haven't had an opportunity to practice it because we're just not going to skip steps. And we think in January, February we'll see our best basketball, but to play Ohio State and then go on the road against Maryland, but it is what it is. Everybody's in the same situation. We just got to step up to the plate.
Welcome to the Big Ten.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about that Ohio State game because it was a game early on that went back and forth, kind of a low-scoring game. This is a team that was averaging almost 90 points a game coming in, leading the nation in scoring. They were second in the nation in field goal percentage, and you held them to 24 points in the first half.
Yeah, we guarded. Oh, man. Our group just followed our game plan to a T. They were locked in. We had really 2 good focused practices. And we just executed what we wanted to do. We got them to turn it over. We rebounded it, didn't give them second chance points. And we were able to push in transition and got open looks there in the first half, especially in the first half. I thought we did a better job of getting open looks. And, the ball didn't go in. Missing bunnies. You go back and you watch the game or just replaying in your mind. It could have easily been a 12-point lead for us at half if we get some of those bunnies to fall or some open threes that, I told you after the game, we feel good with Cass and Madison and even Abby shooting it. You feel really good about it. Just wasn't our day.
Yeah, I asked after the game because you took 36 three-point shots. More than half of your field goal attempts were from three-point range. And I asked, were you happy with the quality of those shots? And you had the right people shooting them.
Yeah, a couple of them were rushing, going back and through. We had some ones that we needed to throw up at the end of shot clock because we just got stagnant offensively. But especially in the first half, and some of those just went in and out. And it's a humbling game, and sometimes that's the way it is.
You know, I'm still trying to figure out the stats of this. You had 21 more shots than they did yesterday, but they out-rebounded you. That's almost impossible.
Yeah, I think what happened, we forced 22 turnovers.
Yeah.
You know, and so they didn't shoot the ball as much as we did, so we didn't have opportunity to rebound it. We did have 13 offensive rebounds. They had more turnovers than we did. They just shot it better than we did, and you know, that's the way it goes.
I thought the stretch coming out of the third quarter was really crucial. You went into the locker room down by 2, but they got a 6 or 8 point run right out of the bat, got that double-digit lead, and then you got to play catch-up the rest of the second half.
Yeah, I think that's why it was so important for us to, if we hit those shots early in the first half, you know, we've got a 12-point lead,
right.
So if they go on that run, we still have a lead, and you know, now they stretch it to 8, stretch it to 10, and we haven't been shooting it well, and as locked in as we were defensively in the second half, it was almost like we started pressing a little bit defensively, you know, taking chances that we weren't doing in the first half. We stuck to the game plan, and you can do that against good basketball teams. They capitalized, and you know, give our kids credit. It was 60-44, and we had a chance with the ball down 8 with about 2.5 minutes to go and miss an open shot, and they go down at the other end, and it was like a 6-point swing, and that you know, it's just kind of like the final whistle for us, but our kids battled for all 40 minutes, and I couldn't be prouder of them. You
know, I think it was exciting. You said the fact you really haven't had a chance to work a lot on the press, and yet the press you threw on them yesterday was pretty effective.
Yeah, we've got some athletes out there with that group, and you know, we've been able to talk about it, and we called a timeout and, you know, talked about where we wanted to go and what we wanted to do, and you know, he had to call a couple timeouts during that stretch, and I think we got him a little nervous a little bit, but just not quite enough. And you know, it's when it all clicks for us, when we can hit on all cylinders. You know, we defensively we're going to battle because our group just believes in what we're doing defensively. You know, offensively, we just got to keep working to get better.
Rokia Doumbia made her season debut yesterday. She brings more athleticism to the floor. She's got to get back into the flow now, but she hit a big three-pointer for you, and I thought gave you some pretty decent minutes yesterday.
Yeah, she did. And, you know, we've asked her to play in the post because we are limited in the post, you know, but she's athletic to beat people off the dribble from the perimeter. She can shoot it from the outside, and she battles. She rebounds it well. She got some hands on some O boards there late in the game that gave us some second chance opportunities. We just weren't able to capitalize on them. So, you know, she's still coming back from her ankle. We've got to keep getting her in shape. But she has an opportunity now to make an impact on our team. All
right, we're Wolfies in West Lafayette, back with more in 2 minutes on the Katie Gearlds Show, presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union. This is Boilermaker basketball from Learfield.
With the athleticism showing for the fifth-year senior.
Purdue 4 points away.
That one long and out. Point Purdue, 3 points away from a trip to the Sweet 16. Taylor Trammell wins the joust, stuffs it at the net.
Another overpass there by the Flyers as Bush's serve, a lot to handle.
Trammell does it herself.
Feel like we just did this. Haley Bush with another impossible serve, an overpass, and a kill by Trammell. Now a whole bunch of match points for the Boilermakers.
Jamie Peterson, Haley Bush with the save. Otek gonna set up Chin on the left side. Collins with a nice up. Peterson, save from Otek. Grace Cleveland on the right side, tapped up and saved. Collins setting up Peterson again. Block! Boilermakers do it! They survive the upset with a 3-set run to win in 5 and advance to the Sweet 16 for the third consecutive year in a row.
Yeah, 16 blocks, including that final point. The Purdue defense really came and answered the call when they needed to. Things looked dire for this Purdue side.
It's a huge win, one of the biggest comebacks in Purdue volleyball history. It's such a significant thing. Now we get to sit back and watch some other teams play volleyball for a while, figure out we're going to play here, we're going to play at Pitt, who we're going to play, all those kinds of things. Okay? It's still fun. Boy, winning's fun.
1, 2, 3.
Welcome back to the Katie Gearlds Show, presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union. We're live at Wolfie's Grill with the largest view of the game outside of Mackey Arena. We will have a show next Monday night. That'll be our final show before the holidays. We also will have a Jeff Brom show next Wednesday. We'll be talking about the Boilermaker Bowl game against Tennessee and also the signing class, because that's signing day around college football. And again, Purdue taking on Maryland on Wednesday. Let's talk about one of the players that really hasn't seen a whole lot of action her first 2 seasons here, but we're seeing her more and more, and she's playing a bigger role, and that's Ricky Waltman. You're a 6'4" junior. Ricky Waltman seems to be finding herself now on the basketball court.
Yeah, I love that kid. Gosh, she plays so hard every day. Her and I had a conversation the other day, and I told her how proud I was for how far she's come, and she's just like, Coach, I feel comfortable. You put me in the right spots, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes for this team to win. And I think even and I told her this too. This isn't a lie. I'm telling her the same thing. In the last couple of years, when she's gone into the game, I've kind of held my breath from the outside, and now I feel really comfortable when she goes in, because she's gonna play defense, she's gonna rebound, and the kid wants the ball. And she's kicked it out a couple times and reposted and demanded the ball. And that's not something we've seen in the last couple of years. And she just feels really comfortable. And we're going to need her.
Yeah.
And Noggs hasn't got playing time, as of much lately. But we're going to need her too. And that kid has been locked in practice, works her tail off, hasn't complained a bit. Working hard to get Ricky and Shay available. And her time is coming. Mm-hmm. But just I really, really enjoy being around those 2 kids.
I hear Coach Painter talk about this all the time. It's really hard for a player sometimes to be productive in 6 to 8 minutes a game, because you're just not on the floor enough to get in the flow, and then sometimes you feel like you have to force things. I think we're seeing where she's getting more minutes, she is more relaxed on the floor, and she's able to let her natural ability come out.
Yeah, I tell her, and I tell our entire team, like, you're not gonna if you make a mistake, you're not coming out. Like, that's just not that's not how I'm gonna coach you. Mm-hmm. You're gonna screw up, and it's what does your body language say on the next possession? Like, how do you correct that? And Ricky's a prime example of that. She makes mistakes. But she's battling back, and I know you sit right next to us sometimes, and I come out and I'm like, hey, come right back to you. Stay with it. And she always looks me dead in the eyes and it's like, I got you, Coach. And I believe that. I feel 100% comfortable with her going in the basketball game.
It's also hard for freshmen who come in and try to get big playing time and get put in big situations. And Jayla Smith is going through that transition right now. It's a whole different game playing in the high school level, where your natural ability, you don't have to worry about scouting reports and big, you just go out because you're a better athlete than most of the kids on the floor. Now she's making that adjustment, but you're going to need her as Big Ten season goes along too.
Yeah, and I think she's adjusting. I think the game just needs to slow down in her mind. I think the first couple times we sent her a scouting report, you just saw her head kind of spinning like, well, what is this? But she's our most athletic and explosive player, and she's gonna find her minutes. Same thing, and tell her all the time, like, hey, who cares if you screw up? Like, that's not a problem. Like, you just got to battle through it. And we're gonna need special things from her. But I got to thinking about this, and we talked about in the office a little bit today. Think about everybody that played in our game yesterday and the role they had in our first Big Ten game. That was Cass Hardin's first Big Ten start. Abby's first Big Ten game. Shay's really first Big Ten game. Ricky hadn't played a lot of minutes. Janae Terry is our only one with a lot of Big Ten experience, and she's on a completely different ball team. So we got to thinking, did that play with, any with our head at all? And maybe it did, maybe it didn't. We didn't feel it from our team, but it makes sense. Now we got that first one under our belt, and I'm not saying we're gonna go to Maryland and win the game, but we're gonna go there. We're gonna compete, and we're getting on the plane tomorrow. We're gonna go up there like we're going to win. If we're not gonna lay down, the thing we want to do is we want to make sure Maryland knows that we were there playing them.
All right, we're going to talk more about Maryland in just a few minutes, but we're going to have Beth Kutcher join us for the next couple of segments. This is the Katie Gearlds Show, presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union, and this is Boilermaker basketball from Learfield.
Play fake, Plummer with time, walks it, Bell wide open. David Bell with a block. Stays on his feet, extends. Did he get the ball there? Touchdown! Unbelievable!
Here's O'Connell to throw. Throws a slant. Pass caught. Here's a touchdown. T.J. Sheffield cartwheels into the end zone, and the Boilermakers take the lead with under 6 minutes to play.
O'Connell, pump fake, throw into the end zone, and the ball is on the money. It's caught for a touchdown by David Bell. And here comes a reverse and then a throw. And it's Anthony who originally got the handoff that gets the catch. And he's loose inside the 25, reverse and field, inside the 15, gets a block, inside the 10, to the end zone. Touchdown, Purdue! Play action pass going up top for right. He's got separation. Mills right. Touchdown, Purdue. Touchdown, Purdue. Second touchdown of the game for Milton Wright. The up and go. Wright is open. Right again to the end zone. His third touchdown of the game.
Feature where we look at how former Purdue student athletes are doing in their professional sports careers. Pro Boilers is presented by Indiana Kitchen Premium Pork Products. Get to know us at indianakitchen.com. Both our Pro Boilers and Indiana Kitchen are boiler made. We've been talking throughout the season about some of the Boilermakers playing overseas, and a couple had really outstanding games this week. Aya Traore in Spain, even though her team lost the game, had 25 points and 6 rebounds the last time out. She's averaging almost 15 points a game for her team. Andriana Keys, though, in Romania, had 18 points, 16 rebounds, and 5 assists. And if you're thinking, well, that had to be in a shootout, it was a 55-46 game. So she had 18 of their 55 points. Her team is undefeated right now at 7-0. So congratulations to those two, and we'll continue to track the former Boilermakers. They're not former Boilermakers. They're Boilermakers for life. Former student athletes here, though, that are playing overseas. We are joined by Associate Head Coach Beth Kutcher, who is in her 6th season at Purdue. And Beth, we were talking before you came on. This team is getting better, and it's really fun to watch these first few games this season.
Yeah, they are. They're just so much fun in practice to see the difference from day to day, from drill to drill, and they're just embracing it. You know, they're embracing the drills, they're embracing the philosophy, they're embracing the change, and I think that's what's been the big difference.
You've been through coaching transitions before. You were a head coach, you were an assistant coach. As you've gone through this with Katie to try to get her back indoctrinated into being a Big Ten coach, what has your role been in all this? How have you been able to help her, not just from a scouting standpoint, but just from the day-to-day operations that a Big Ten basketball coach has to do?
I think the main thing, I need to be a sounding board. You know, I need to be there when she needs to talk. I need to be there to tell her it's going to be okay and that kind of stuff. And then the administrative side, you know, with us not really having an operations person, Christine's doing such a great job. But just helping Christine so it can be off the table. Because right now she loves basketball. Katie wants to be in there scouting. She wants to come up with game plans, which she's great at. So we're just trying to take all the rest of the stuff off her table.
Beth, by the way, for those who don't know, was a standout basketball player in college. In fact, a member of the Erskine College Hall of Fame. So congratulations on that. You also were a head coach with 455 wins in your career at various stops, and you coached at different levels. You coached, I think, at the lower division levels. You've seen all. Now, basketball is basketball, but what's the biggest difference? Is it the level of athleticism? What do you see as the biggest difference between divisions?
Well, it's definitely better players. You know, I mean, coaching's coaching, and Katie and I talk about that a lot, coming from where she came from. But at the end of the day, when you have better players, it makes it easier. You know, when you have players that can go make a play for you and you don't always have to call the plays for them, it makes it easier. But it sure is fun to have them at all levels if they play hard. You know, I think that's the key, and that's what you're seeing in our players right now. They just play hard, and I think that makes it better as a coach. And then the last thing, I think the higher you get, the more management you have.
Yeah.
You know, you have more staff, you have to manage them. And, you know, I remember starting off at Presbyterian College, and I had a volunteer assistant. Then I had a part-time assistant, then I had a full-time, and then you get to here, and there's like, Katie's managing 10 people. So you have to deal with that too. But I think the biggest thing is coaching's coaching, and you just get better players.
You talked about your role, but when you were a head coach, how did you view what did you want from your assistant coaches? How did you use them?
I just wanted a lot of opinions. I wanted them to challenge me. I didn't want them to always just agree with me, and I just wanted during a game just give me a lot of opinions, and I might look at them like, what, give them that look, but they understand that we're all a team, and I just need to absorb everything and listen to everything. But I think the biggest thing off the floor is just talk about practice, what things you think we need to do, what things other coaches need to do. Just bring all their opinions and their knowledge to the table. You
and I have been through a lot of seasons here and elsewhere. What's different? What's different about basketball or about coaching than when you started in this profession?
I just think the biggest difference is the players have evolved. When I first started, you didn't have 6'5" women's basketball players that could play. You didn't have them running fast. They've really evolved as athletes. So I think that's the main difference for me and where I'm at in my career right now, and especially now with Katie. I'm just having fun. I think it's important to have fun, and I think that's what our players see. Our staff's having fun, the players are having fun, and at the end of the day, that's what it's about. Mm-hmm. And when you're having fun, I think you can be successful. It
is amazing, and doing football and doing basketball, sometimes you walk into a stadium or you walk into an arena and you say, I cannot believe they're paying me to do this. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to tell anybody that much, but it is amazing that you can do this, something that you really love to do every day, and it's your profession. It's what you've made your life's work on. Yeah, I just feel so blessed. It's what I've done my whole life. People used to ask me 10, 15 years ago, what would you do if you weren't coaching? And I never knew, and I'm so blessed I never had to. Like even getting up this morning after a game and knowing you have to watch film at 6 a.m., it's just you feel blessed to do that for your players. And to be able to help them and to help our coaching staff. And I just feel like right now we're all in, so it just makes it so special and so easy to work. All right, we'll be back with more. We're talking with Associate Head Coach Beth Kutcher. Back with more after this. It's the Katie Gearlds Show presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union, and this is Boilermaker Basketball from Learfield.
Porter's previous stop in college coaching was Auburn. Georgia Tech also played Auburn this year, and it's Madison Layden.
Experience and learning how to play while tired, getting a feel for how to finish down low. Heck of a finish right there.
I was going to say, speaking of finishes, Brooke Moore. Terry around Stroutman up. Off to Waltman. That time, Ricky finishes.
Good pass.
It's a total of 2 made three-point field goals, one for either team so far. Ellis snipes in, off to Wolfie. And the ball is taken away by Terry.
There we go.
Hardin for 3. Got it. That's what Purdue was missing in the first half. Tie game. Line drive shot short. Here's Ellis. Pace for Purdue. Key word for Katie Gearlds. Ellis gets the bucket. Continuation. And 1. Loose ball. Terry picks it up after a botched exchange with Ellis. Then she threads a pass to Ellis, who drops it in inside. Now it's Madison Layden to trigger for Purdue. 3.9 seconds left, down 1. Terry for the win. Good! And Purdue wins at the horn.
Well, she made herself available. She knew it was a low clock. Really good job of recognizing, attacking. And look, anytime you can throw it up there and give yourself a chance off the glass, and Janae Terry celebrating with her Purdue teammates.
And the bank shot never goes out of style.
Sure doesn't.
Purdue finds a way to get it done. Back-to-back wins over ACC opponents. We thought this would be a defensive struggle.
Welcome back to the Katie Gearlds Show, presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union. We're live at Wolfie's Grill with the largest view of the game outside of Mackey Arena. Talking to Associate Head Coach Beth Kutcher. Beth, we were talking in the earlier segment with Katie about Ricky Waltman. There's a player who has really transformed this year and is giving you big minutes off the bench. Really, as a player now that you feel good about when she has the basketball in her hands on the offensive end, and you feel good about her on the boards.
Yeah, she's just evolved. You know, she's just so comfortable, and I think Katie said that earlier. But a big thing with Ricky is she has to feel comfortable. You know, she has to feel like everybody's behind her, and she's just all in right now. But I think her work, she always worked hard. She's always been in the gym early. She always wants to see film. She always wants to do extras, and I'm just so happy for her. I mean, if any player deserves it, she does. And not only did she work for it, she stayed with it. And she stayed with it 3 years. She wasn't playing, and now it's paying off for her.
I don't think now you were not here as an assistant coach when Katie Gearlds was a player. Had your paths crossed before she came this spring as an assistant coach?
Well, as a player, it did pass. I was at Butler, and they killed us, and I think she might have went for 30. I don't say that to her too much, but
I think I must have done that game somewhere.
But I did. Our paths crossed in recruiting, and she was always gracious and would come up to me and talk about Purdue, and when she didn't have to. So I knew what kind of person she was prior to coming.
What would you say? What her influence and what she's been able to do in the time that she's been here? What has she brought to this program so far?
I just think she brought belief. The kids believe again. I think they're having fun. And just the whole team chemistry and culture has changed, and I think she brought that. I think they respond to her. I think she relates great with players. And then I think what she does a great job of is our scouting reports and our game planning. I mean, it's simple, but it's direct, and the kids understand what we're going to do. And I think that's why you see our defense is so strong. And she knows that we can't stop everything, so she picks and chooses what we need to stop to win. And she's spot on, and I've been very impressed with that part.
I mentioned you've been at Purdue for 6 years. Has the experience here, as the Purdue experience, what did you think when you came in? How has it evolved for you? And are you still having fun doing what you're doing?
I am. If I wasn't, I think I better do something else.
There you go.
Right? Yeah, I mean, coming to West Lafayette, I didn't have a clue what the town was or what Purdue was, and I mean, right away, it's family, and to me, it's always been about that as a coach. It didn't matter where I went. I wanted to make sure it was a family atmosphere, and it definitely was here, not only within the program, but in the athletic department and then the community. So, it's been home for me. I bought a house here. It's been great. It's been a great 6 years, and honestly, it's really turned basketball fun for me again. I'm back enjoying it. I enjoy coaching the girls, and I enjoy recruiting girls to a place like Purdue where they can not only get a great basketball career, but academic career also, because one day that's what they're going to need, and we recruit players that want both.
It's a long basketball season. There are a lot of ups and downs for coaches and for players. How do you help a kid that's not getting a lot of playing time, comes to practice every day, works hard, but doesn't get to see the floor very much? How do you help keep them motivated and keep them with the program right now?
Well, you got to let them know their worth. I mean, everybody on the team from 1 to 14 has worth, and it doesn't matter if that means you're getting everybody fired up for a game or you're working hard in practice or you're playing 30 minutes. So I think that's a big thing, and I think our staff, with Katie's direction, does a good job with that. I think the other thing is you got to work with them. Let's make them better. Everybody wants to be better. Bring them in, watch film, get them on the court, because once they feel good about themselves, you'll see the best them. Or the best version of them. So I think we just have to let all the players know their worth, because I think everybody does have worth, and if they don't feel it, that one person can hurt your chemistry and your culture.
Beth, it's great to have you here as an associate head coach. Great to have you in the program, and we look forward to a really outstanding Big Ten season. It is a lot of fun this year to see these kids playing hard and having fun on the floor.
It is, and we appreciate you a lot, too. Thanks for all you do.
Well, I appreciate that. All right, we'll have the head coach back in just a couple of minutes. It's the Katie Gearlds Show, presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union, and this is Boilermaker Basketball from Learfield.
We'll slow things down. Wide open, Abby Ellis, corner three. She knocks it down. Can't find the layup amidst the contact. Now Terry finds Layden in transition. She unloads from three, and Madison Layden ties it up at 6. Nearing the midway point in the second quarter, Terry crossing over. She'll find more. Book more. Floater driving in. Gets the bucket and the foul. Layden fires over to Smith. Right spot. Smith over to Kyle. Check back in. A nice up and under move from Shea Kyle.
To take away all the Boilermakers' confidence.
Layden, her own three. Hits the bottom of the net.
Mike Sell 3 for 5 tonight. 2 big threes here in this third quarter for the Buckeyes.
Left side now, Layden. Her three on the way. She responds. Ellis, 5 seconds to go, going the right side, working against Miller. Ellis stopping, spinning, finding Kyle down low. Kyle gets it right at the buzzer. Ellis has it now. She's got 9 points on the day. Going baseline. A little stuck, turning around, and a nice job by Abby Ellis. They got Cassidy Hardin with the foul on last possession. Janae Terry, a tough take, going coast to coast. You usually don't see a number that low at all in men's or women's basketball.
Exactly, but shooting 3-4-3 is one thing that you want to look forward to, as that one goes 4-3.
Her first made basket. The Boilers, 14 points, and Jayla Smith, the steal on the other end. The Boilers, 14 points, and Jayla Smith, the steal on the other end. The scoop and the score. Right in front of Katie Gearlds. Janae Terry driving in. Right hand, yes! Boilers.
Welcome back to Wolfies. You know, you never know who's listening in. I said earlier something like I would not, I can't believe I get paid for this. Mark Walpole, who is our boss on Purdue Sports Properties, just texted and said, I heard that. I have a feeling may have a contract coming back with a lot of zeros in it coming up really shortly. I love it. It is nice to get paid, though, for it, too. We do have a question on our Facebook site. Somebody was asking about Sky Williams and Ava Learn. Can you give us an update on the two of them?
Yeah, Sky and Ava have been great for us. Obviously, Sky had surgery over the summer and just didn't, and then had a little setback with it. And Ava's been awesome, honestly. I think the first semester of, the academic side of Purdue is just a little bit, just got them. And they've been great. Their grades are not poor. They're working their tails off. It's just, we wanted to give them an opportunity where they could finish the semester strong. And we've got one more week and then finals. And,
right.
They'll be back with us soon because they're wrapping up some big projects. And, and honestly, like, you're a student athlete, and we want to give them an opportunity to be a student.
I didn't mention before, Cassidy Hardin actually hit a milestone yesterday. She hit her 100th three-pointer of her career. Amazing numbers, 100 three-pointers, 11 two-pointers. So you can pretty much know where the production's coming from with Cass offensively.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, she goes 1 for 9, right? Like, she won't be happy with that. I said that out loud on the radio, but 1 for 9 from the field, 1 for 9 from the three. If you're reading a scouting report, like, she's going to shoot the three. But we do a good job of finding her. Like, Janae does a great job of finding her in transition. And, every time we're down the open floor, you could just see, like, everybody's eyes are trying to find where Cass is. And, I'm so happy for that kid because that kid bleeds black and gold, and she bleeds winning, and she bleeds whatever it takes for her team to win. I mean, she sacrifices her body, takes charge, she guards. Yep. I mean, she guarded the European monster the other day. She held her ground, and she guarded a couple bigs in Florida State and West Virginia, and I'm so proud, and I love coaching Cass Hardin.
Beth Kutcher talked in one of the last couple of segments about helping players get better. And when I came over, I was over today for Dave Shondel's press conference. By the way, congratulations to the volleyball team for going to the Sweet 16.
Let's go. Keep it going. Keep it going.
Jayla Smith was out on the floor about 11 o'clock this morning shooting and trying to get some extra work in offensively.
After our game against Ohio State, and obviously we didn't shoot it great, but all of those kids, I go out to see my family on the floor. My niece and my nephew are running around, and Shay's like, is that my best friend? My little niece just loves Shay. I don't know why, but she does. And Shay and Jayla and Brooke, they're like, Coach, we got to do better. Like, that's our fault. We got to hit those shots. I mean, you guys work your tails off for us. We got to do better. And that's this group. And, they're willing to do. I mean, Brooke was like, I got to get in the gym right now, right after the game. And they want to get better because they see how hard we work as a staff, and this group has just bought in. I think Beth said it, like they're just believers in what we're doing, and we're gonna have days like yesterday, but it's gonna come together. Yeah, it will come together, and hopefully sooner rather than later. I hope so. For your sake. Goodness gracious, I hope so. All right, we'll have the final segment of the Katie Gearlds Show presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union after this. This is Boilermaker Basketball from Lear.
Slow things down. Wide open Abby Ellis, corner three. She knocks it down. Can't find the layup amidst the contact. Now Terry finds Lane in transition. She unloads from three, and Madison Layden ties it up at 6. Nearing the midway point in the second quarter, Terry crossing over, she'll find more, book more, floater driving in, gets the bucket and the foul. Layden fires over to Smith, right spot. Smith over to Kyle, check back in, a nice up and under move from Rashay and Kyle.
To take away all the Boilermakers' confidence.
Layden, her own 3, hits the bottom of the net.
Mikesell 3 for 5 tonight. 2 big threes here in this third quarter for the Buckeyes.
Left side now, Layden, her 3 on the way, she responds. Ellis, 5 seconds to go, going the right side, working against Miller. Ellis stopping, spinning, finding Kyle down low. Kyle gets it right at the buzzer. Ellis has it now. She's got 9 points on the day. Going baseline. A little stuck, turning around, and a nice job by Abby Ellis. They got Cassidy Hardin with the foul on last possession. Janae Terry, a tough take, going coast to coast. You usually don't see a number that low at all in men's or women's basketball.
Exactly, but shooting 3-4-3 is one thing that you want to look forward to, as that one goes 4-3.
Her first made basket. The Boilers, 14 points, and Jayla Smith, the steal on the other end. The Boilers, 14 points, and Jayla Smith, the steal on the other end. The scoop and the score.
By Purdue Federal Credit Union, home of the official credit union for Purdue fans. Learn more at purduefed.com. Well, there are 5 Big Ten teams ranked in the top 25, and at the top of that list is Maryland at number 8, and that is Purdue's next opponent. And I think it's safe to say that the Maryland Terrapins are a pretty talented basketball team.
Yeah, sounds like fun, doesn't it?
Yeah, you know, you're going to be the best, you got to beat the best, right?
That's why we play, right? Like
Yep.
That's why we play. Excited to get on a plane tomorrow. We actually have some things planned with our group when we get there for tomorrow and Wednesday, and excited to go through those experiences with our kids. You know, I don't know if I can. We have plans tomorrow to go to Arlington National Cemetery, and then on Wednesday go to the African American Smithsonian. So we have this opportunity to really teach a lot to our young people. You know, we've got a group that wants to find a way to change the world, right? And so what better way than to do it in Washington D.C. at the Arlington National Cemetery, and then go to the Smithsonian. I mean, what a unique opportunity we have. And then, you know, we get a chance to play a top 10 team on the road. Why not?
Ashley Owusu, their point guard, one of the best point guards in the country, and she's got a lot of talented players she can throw the ball to. Katie Benson's a great three-point shooter. Mimi Collins has been outstanding. They've been without Diamond Miller this year, who's only played just a couple of minutes in a couple of games because of a knee injury, but they don't feel sorry for the Terrapins because there's plenty of people behind them.
They got enough, man. You know, Ashley Owusu is just something special. Her ability to just take over games whenever she wants, whether it's facilitating or scoring. Vincent can shoot it. You know, they've got it all. And you know, but with that being said, you know, we're getting on a plane tomorrow and we're going to do those things, but we're going to show up on Wednesday at 7:00 with an, you know, we're going to fight and we're going to claw and. You know, we're going to be hard to beat. And if we can lock into doing some things that we think we can take advantage of, you know, who knows? The ball might bounce our way and we might find ourselves in a dogfight in the fourth quarter. It wouldn't be the first time that we went up there to Maryland and found a way to win a game. Yeah,
the Boilermakers beat a 10th-ranked Maryland team there a few years ago. So it has happened before, and you never know. Like you said, if the longer you can make it a game and keep it a game, the tighter the favorite gets in that situation.
Yeah, and you know, our group is excited. You know, we get an opportunity to play a top 10 team. You know, opportunity to play college basketball, an opportunity to wear Purdue across our chest, an opportunity to represent something bigger than yourself. Against one of the best teams in the country. I mean, why not? It'll
be fun to see Dave Pennewell back in town. He is the director of basketball operations for Denver. He was a graduate assistant here and was a great member of the program, and great to see him back at Mackey Arena.
Yeah, excited to see him. I wasn't here obviously when he's here, but I worked some camps when he was around, and he's been awesome texting us after big wins, and excited. You know, anytime you can bring back somebody, you know, it's really cool because. This is home, and you know, Purdue, no matter what it is, Purdue will always be family.
Katie, let's get on the plane tomorrow with our coats bundle because it's going to be a little chilly out there.
sir.
But let's see what we can do this week. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks, Tim.
All right, the Boilermakers with a couple of games this week. Again, taking on the 8th-ranked Maryland Terrapins on Wednesday night. We'll have that one starting at 6:45. And then back home at Mackey on Sunday, non-conference game against Denver. That one will tip off at 2 o'clock. Thanks to Wes Scott for engineering here on site. Roger Forsyth, our producer tonight. We'll be back here at Wolfie's next Monday night at 7:10 for the next edition of the Katie Gearlds Show. Until then, this is Boilermaker Basketball from Learfield.